iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in, race fans, to the Martinsville Speedway here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series. Tonight, it's the BK Paints 100 from the famous paperclip. Well, the straightaways here, they're asphalt. The corners, though, a concrete mixture. So these super late models that we have here tonight are going to be a little bit tricky. It's the most horsepower with the littlest tire that we could find in a full fender stock car, because these super late models, they haul. The real world side of things, they do come here to the Martinsville Speedway, but the greatest thing is these drivers from all over the country are able to come here tonight to the virtual Martinsville Speedway to race for one of the most historic races. Of course, the BK Paints on board here tonight, sponsoring tonight's race here at Martinsville. If you're looking for a super late model paint job, well, maybe a dirt modified paint job, and anything in between, NASCAR Cup cars, the trucks, the Xfinity cars, even road cars and Indy cars, they can do it all. It's a one-stop paint shop for all you race fans. Coming into the night, Dalton Williamson is your points championship leader. 23 points over A.J. Hamel. Scott Duncan in third. Dave Bragg is sitting there in fourth. And Michael Trevarthen rounds out the top five in our point standings. But as I look down to the racetrack, you see it, race fans, the super late models are on the speedway. That means it's time to get to our Six Rings Racing starting lineup. Starting on the front row, snagging his first pole, the driver out of South Carolina, driving car number 86. That's the man, James Skelton. To his outside, driving car number 1, the Rev Esports number 1 BK Paints entry. That's Dalton Williams, and he's your points championship leader coming in. Starting in row number 2, driving the 989 out of Canada, that is going to be Scott Duncan. To his outside, the driver out of North Carolina, driving the 05 entry. That's Colony Tire and Service Center, 05 of Rex Hoyle. A.J. Hamel will roll from P number 5 here in tonight's race with the Mr. Confusion Motorsports number 18. And starting back into the 6th spot, having a great starting spot here tonight at Martinsville, car number 14 of Brandon Wind. It's the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes, number 13 MA of Joshua Buckley back there into the 7th spot. Brian Bianchi in the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe, number 5, will start 8th. Rob Higgins back into the 9th spot in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 40. Dave Bragg will start back into the 10th spot in the Jiffy Lube, number 31. It's the Liquid Molly, number 38 of Brandon Feeney back into the 11th spot. And, well, it's Dan the Man, the Store Magnet Butler, and he'll start car number 21 in 12. Back into the 13th starting spot here tonight, he hails all the way from South Carolina, driving the 271. That's Aiden Alvecchione. And back into P number 14 here tonight, driving car number 2. He's back in action here, the Rev Esports number 2, of Michael Trevarthen. It's the Quiet Foot Gaming 00 of Daryl Clutter back there into the 15th spot. A.J. Watkins will roll the 0-1 off from 16th. It's the checkered flag auto supply number 30 of Bob Higgins going from 17th. And Dan Murphy Jr. not making the call to the grid tonight, but he was scheduled to roll from the 18th starting spot. That's our Six Rings Racing starting lineup here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Tonight it's the BK Paints 100. As there's one of those BK Paints right now on the front row. We're starting this one off, 100 laps on the board here tonight. A great start by the outside there of Dalton Williamson. Wheel spin down on the bottom for the 86 of James Skelton. Skelton able to battle back too wide all the way through the field. Still here on the opening lap tonight at Martinsville Speedway. Who will lead lap number 1? We'll find out this time by the Rev Esports number 1, the BK Paints number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Able to lead lap number 1, but here comes the inside lane. It's starting to roll a little bit now here. James Skelton was able to pull even on entry there into turn number 3. Once again, even out of corner number 4. This time, though, James Skelton will take the top spot. One driver into the outside wall. A.J. Hamill into the outside wall. He had Brandon Wind all over the back end of that car. Maybe, and A.J. gonna slide. A.J. Hamill losing a bunch of spots here as he'll drop all the way to the tail of the field. A.J. Hamill, the Mr. Confusion Motorsports entry, gathering it back up, but now he's way back behind the 8 ball here in car number 18. There he is. He's lost 11 spots since the drop of the green flag. A.J. Hamill back there running now in P number 16. In that whole scuffle and exchange, you see the number 1 of Dalton Williamson has fallen back there into P number 2. He did get passed up by James Skelton. So Skelton, who qualified on the front row, led last time by. He'll lead this time by also in the number 86 for James Skelton. Williamson back there into the second spot. Third, that is going to be Scott Duncan here as we have officially 5 laps into the book. Your top 4 drivers, Rex Hoyle right there. Connolly Tire, 05 entry. Those drivers have not changed hands. There's Brandon Wind. We saw him. He was into the back end of the number 18 of A.J. Hamill. He's got some damage on the front nose clip of his super late model here tonight. So possible things to look at and think about here tonight. Yeah, the lights are on. The sun is down. The temperatures are also down here tonight at Martinsville. But you think that damage may not cause a problem. It's a half-mile track here. Not a lot of room. Not a lot of airflow through these super late models. So we'll see if that car can hold on to things here. Still a lot of laps to go, over 92 laps left in this race. Joshua Buckley back here at the number 13 MA. It's the checkered flag auto supply, number 13 MA. Currently sitting into that 6th spot. Joshua Buckley having a great run on Monday night, also having himself a top 10 then. He's having a top 10 currently running here as we close in on the 10 laps into this one. He's picked up 1 spot here tonight. The driver that's picked up the most spots, though, he's got a brand new paint scheme on his car. That's courtesy of tonight's sponsor here. That is the BK Paints number 2. The Rev Esports driver, Michael Trevarthen, is sitting there currently running into the 9th position. He has picked up 5 spots after not having a qualifying attempt. He was hailed into the pits here tonight after missing last week's race. Had to start from the back here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. And he is currently sitting back into the 9th spot. So he's closing in, though, on the number 5 of Brian Bianchi. Bianchi trying to run away. See back looking at that BK Paints Ford Mustang. We got Brandon Feeney and Dave Bragg, the 2 Canadians. They're running nose to tail right now. Back there in the 10th and the 11th spot. There goes the Tim Hortons Liquid Molly, number 38. That's Brandon Feeney in car number 38 as he rolls by the camera. Right behind him, Dave Bragg. A.J. Hamill has started to pick back some spots here that he lost here in the opening round. He is currently sitting into the 12th position. That's the Mr. Confusion Motorsports number 18 of A.J. Hamill. Doesn't know if he's from New York, doesn't know if he's from Vermont, but he knows right now he has got some spots he's got to make back here tonight. Nothing's changed up front except for the distance in the gap. There you see the 86 of James Skelton. He is currently still out front here tonight. Dalton Williamson has started to roll him back in. There it is. That's the distance between your second-place driver and your first-place driver here tonight. James Skelton running a line that's maybe affecting the way the number 1 is handling. He's running about a half a car length up on the speedway. Well, Dalton Williamson back there on the black number 1 machine. He was trying to wrap the bottom side of the speedway. He might be packing some air on the front nose of that number 1. That time now he goes back down to the bottom side of the speedway, even though Dalton was a little bit farther down to the inside. You got to pay a little close attention, though. You see the red, white, and, well, the red, white down on the inside of the corners. That is not a rumble strip. Here at the Martinsville Speedway, that is a curb. You do not want to hit that. That will send your car into a tizzy, and it will not be good for you on the other side of that. Yeah, you see the grass there, but hey, you want to stay away from the curb. You want to stay out of the grass, that is for sure. As we're already closing in on 20 laps into this event here tonight. One driver not taking the call to the grid here. That was the number 41, Dan Murphy Jr. He will not make the call here tonight. So 17 cars is what we have out onto the speedway here. You're watching the best battle on the speedway, and that is the number 5, the Culpeper's Bakery Cafe. Number 5 of Brian Bianchi. There you see Bianchi running in car number 5. He's back there into the 9th spot. He had Brandon Feeney taking a peek, but now Feeney will fall back. A little contact there between the two Canadians. Feeney to the outside of the Tim Hortons Liquid Molly entry, and Dave Bragg down to the inside in the Jiffy Lube entry. They made a little contact. Both drivers were able to keep their cars pointed into the right direction, but as they battle side by side, Bragg down, he's going to touch the curb. You saw exactly how that car shot right back up the speedway. That's not what you want to do. Dave Bragg will have to give that position up. He'll live to turn another lap. But now A.J. Hamill, he's right here. He's got the Ford Mustang coming back towards the top 10. 2 spots away from being in the top 10 right now. Still a very long way to go, though. You have to mind your P's and Q's, and you don't want to burn up the tires. One driver that's setting the world on fire. He now comes into the top 5. That is the Randy Hamps Walkers and Canes Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Number 13, MA, Joshua Buckley getting around Brandon Wind. We got to thank everybody that's tuning in here tonight. Of course, good old Barry, our buddy from across the pond, is out there tuning in tonight here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. They're not the cars that are doing the slidey things for you, Barry, here tonight. This is good old short track racing, as a lot of the fans would call it here tonight. The super late models. James Skelton still out front. You're watching the 5th, 6th, 7th position. Joshua Buckley in the blue entry there. There's Brandon Wind. Michael Trevarthen also here in this group. There you see the number 2, the Rev Esports BK Paints entry. He's picked up 7 spots now after starting back into the 14th position. Joshua Buckley into the outside retaining wall. That time by out of turn number 4. Josh is going to lose the spot that he just took. Away from Brandon Wind, and then he's going to lose the spot to Michael Trevarthen, and he'll funnel in line. Now back into the 7th spot for Joshua Buckley. Right ahead of Rob Higgins. Rob Higgins got somebody, running him down, and that's the number 5. That is Brian Bianchi. Brandon Feeney also has run down this front group of cars. So everybody from 5th to, it looks like, what is the 12th position, running right here in a little bit of a group. As Michael Trevarthen says, could I get around you, sir, Mr. Wind? Trevarthen not quite able to. So Brandon Wind right now holding up this group, doing everything he can just to stay ahead. Here comes the number 2. He'll dive to the inside, though, down here into the corner. Michael Trevarthen down in turns 1 and 2, trying to get it done as he'll pull side by side off corner number 2. It'll be the drag race to turn number 3. The preferred line down to the bottom side for car number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, the Florida native. Trying to get around Wind. Now Joshua Buckley going to try to go to the bottom side. He'll try to fill the hole, bump Wynn back another position. So Joshua Buckley trying to claw back in towards the top 5. Buckley a little sideways on entry. He was sideways. He hit the curb. That number 13 MA, all sorts of out of shape. The tennis balls, as he would say, has gone flying. Off the walker that he has to use to get to his race car here weekly. There you see the very shiny blue entry, Joshua Buckley. The Randy Hips Walkers and Kane. AJ Hamill back there. He'll bounce the Mr. Confusion Motorsports. Number 18 back off that wall once again. He's trying to widen the racetrack out as much as he can here tonight. He'll now work to the inside of the number 5 of Brian B. Yankee. Little sideways also for the 18 of AJ Hamill, that time into the corner. He'll make the pass, though, and he should be able to pick up that spot. He will by the time he hits turn number 3. Sideways for Brandon Wind. You just saw that. Number 14 gets sideways. Black car, orange numbers on the side panel of that car. Joshua Buckley still sitting there in that 6th position. Michael Schwarthen has started to pull away from this group. Still got a very long way, 7.5 seconds if he would like to catch the front group duo. And nothing has changed out front here. There's the front 2. Your race leader of James Skelton, Dalton Williamson following him underneath the stripe. This time by, we're going to be 34 laps into the books, and somebody who's been very quiet here tonight, there you see it, the 989 entry, Scott Duncan, one of the rookies this season, running full time here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series. Had a lot of speed. We talk about it weekly. Scott Duncan has the speed to be up here inside the top handful of spots. He has just not been able to break through into the promised land, and tonight he qualified 3rd, and after 35 official laps here tonight, he is still sitting back there into the 3rd spot. One driver just going a lap down. There's the 271, one of the fan favorites here tonight, the driver out of Charleston, South Carolina. There you see him. Aidan Alvecchione has fallen 1 lap down to the race leaders. He's sitting back into the 17th position. He is the only car that has gone down the lap here tonight. That would be Bob Higgins, who would be the next driver that is on the hot seat, the driver out of Massachusetts in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 30. Bob qualified back into 17th here tonight, and he has picked up that 1 spot by passing Aidan Alvecchione, bumping him back to 17th. There you see the gap, though, down into turn number 1, called about a half a corner length, is what your race leader has before he'll find his next lap traffic victim. James Skelton has led ever since lap number 4 here tonight. And he still can't do this, race fans. Having his best showing, though, here on Thursday night. James, one of those drivers that we see on a regular basis every Monday night. A 2-time champion with our main series on Monday night. When we take out the NASCAR Next Generation car, the NASCAR Xfinity car, the NASCAR truck, and the ARCA machines. That's what we run on Monday night. A little bit different pace here on our Thursday night program. We run everything from a Legends to an SK Modified to a late model stock to a street stock and then to a super late model, which is what we have here tonight. Next week, though, we do head to the LA Coliseum for the Big Wiggle 100 in a street stock. That's going to be a knock 'em out, drag 'em out kind of night. They told me the driver that can wiggle the most will most likely probably win that event. But as you see it, James Skelton will come upon the number 30 of Bob Higgins. Higgins will go to the outside, and no, he'll actually go, well, if you're using a dirt term, that'll be 4 in the fluff up there for the number 30 of Bob Higgins. You don't want to go there. Those are marbles on the outside, and just, I mean, it is exactly what it sounds like, marbles. You take those marbles out of your satchel that you guys have at home and you dump them down onto the floor and you try and walk over them. What's going to happen? You're going to slip. You're going to fall. Well, the number 30 of Higgins just went up over and found those marbles, and exactly what would happen to your feet happens to these tires here at the Martinsville Speedway, and he took a little bit of a slide. Actually kept it off the wall, but look at this battle. They were pretty close to the wall that time off turn number 2. Oh, as Feeney will go in, he'll drive it in too far, too hard, down, he'll hit the curbing, and he'll now leave the bottom side of the speedway open as here comes the number 31 of Dave Bragg. These two guys Their friends in the real world side of things as they're 3 wide here in Martinsville. That never works out, but they're making it work this time. Aiden Vecchione says, I'll just lift here and back out. But talking about Feeney and Bragg, 2 friends in the real world side of things, when Brandon Feeney was able to pick up his first heat race win of the season up in Ontario, well, Dave Bragg was there to celebrate with him. So a little bit of bragging rights when they come out here on Thursday nights. Right now, Dave Bragg has the bragging rights, that is for sure. Closing in on halfway, though, we'll be 3 laps next time by from the halfway point here tonight in the BK Paints 100 here from the Martinsville Speedway. Remember, race fans, you want to look your best when you go to the racetrack here on iRacing. Let BK Paints design your next sim wrap. Here these drivers coming very close to the rev limiter down the straightaways. Dalton Williamson looks like he's trying to set up the race leader as he keeps, he's kind of entering a little bit higher. And then off the corners, you see that number 1 go straight down to the bottom where James Skelton is running more of a defensive line. He'll enter a little bit lower. He'll try to wrap the bottom, but on corner exit, he kind of slips up the speedway just a little bit. And that's exactly where Dalton Williamson is starting to really close the gap here with that race leader. Now just has to wait for a little bit of a mistake as he's got 51 laps to find that mistake to get to the race lead as we'll be halfway home next time by here. See which one of these drivers is going to be eating one of those famous red Martinsville hot dogs tonight. Bragg now working on the number 40 of Higgins as he'll actually slide up the track, so he'll lose a little bit of momentum that time down in turns 1 and 2. AJ Hamill back into the top 10 here tonight. AJ could have honestly packed it in here tonight and been very disappointed with himself. Last time AJ Hamill was here at the Martinsville Speedway, it was not here with Red Light Racing, but last time AJ Hamill stepped behind the steering wheel with a super late model at Martinsville, he was actually able to walk away with a top 3 finish. So coming in with a lot of confidence here tonight for the driver out of Vermont or New York. Dan Butler has gone a lap down also to our race leader. There you see the driver of car number 21, the driver out of Southbridge, Massachusetts. They call him the Storm Magnet because everywhere he goes, it seems like a storm follows him. And Dan, don't look now because there's a storm down to the inside here. As they're all trying to get around the number 21, the famous orange paint scheme on that number 21 for Dan Butler. Tonight, though, does not look like it's going to be Dan's night here at Martinsville. That right side of that car has been scraped up, and he's a lap down now, unfortunately, after the halfway point. This time by, if the 86 of James Skelton can lead, he will wrap up the most laps led here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway, and there's still a lot of racing left to go. So we'll scout out front, Williamson in second, and Duncan back in third. Rex Hoyle is sitting into the 4th spot here. One of the best dressed cars out here tonight. Geppetto's Pizza also riding on board with Tuxedos by Ted of that 05 NC entry. Quietly, just one of those veterans that tries to take care. He loves these tracks a lot of on the gas, off the gas, on the brake. Slipping and sliding, that's what he likes to see. Look at this battle back here. Dave Bragg now following back through the field as here comes the number 14 of Brandon Wynn. So Bragg will fall back now to the 12th spot, outside the top 10. Feeney was running outside the top 10, but now he's got the Tim Hortons Liquid Molly entry back up inside the top 10. He's running into the 10th position, and he's closing in on Brian Bianchi. A.J. Hamill has slipped up into the 8th spot now. Nothing has changed at the front of the field. You see where they are, but those drivers that we were just watching back there for about the 8th position on back, they really have to get a move on it, because the race leaders are about a straightaway behind, and you don't want to go a lap down, because once you go a lap down, unless you're the first car, one lap down, it is very hard to get back onto the lead lap. So Dalton Williamson, he's just kind of been playing like he's a tiger back there. Kind of waiting to pounce. Aiden Navecchione in the 271. He'll go another lap down. That'll be 2 laps down now for Aiden. Brandon Wynn going after Dave Bragg, because Bragg just got back around the number 14, and Brandon Wynn gonna lay one hit. Now he'll lay 2, and he'll finish him off there out of turn number 4. That'll bring a caution flag out as the number 31 gets spun around off the front nose piece of Brandon Wynn. So, after 65 laps completed under green, the first caution flag will fly here this evening. Your race leaders, they will come to pit road, as that'd be a good time to put 4 fresh racing tires on your car. So there you see James Skelton, Dalton Williamson, Scott Duncan, and the rest of the drivers that are on the lead lap coming to pit road. Brandon Feeney looks like he's going to roll the dice here tonight and try and get a little bit of that Tim Hortons coffee, because he'll stay out here. So he should cycle into the lead. Take a look back here at Dave Bragg and see what exactly transpired. Wind into the back of the number 31, into the back of the 31 again, and one time for good measure that time out of turn number 4. So a 2-car accident will bring out the caution flag here. Right on board, you're on board with Dave Bragg. Slight contact there to the inside retaining wall for the number 31 of Dave Bragg, but I didn't see any real damage. Looks like the first driver that did come out of pit road is going to be the 05 of Rex Hoyle. The Colony Tire and Service Centers 05 North Carolina going to be the first driver off pit road, and I'm looking at it. It looks like a 2-tire stop for Rex Hoyle. Also a 2-tire stop there for Joshua Buckley, who should line up P number 3. James Skelton, 4 tires. Dalton Williamson, 4 tires. Rob Higgins with 2 tires. So there's varying strategies all through the field here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Tonight it's the BK Paints 100 from Martinsville here for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series here for Red Light Racing. It's our first year of scrambling up the cars, and we talked about it earlier. They run the Legends car here on Thursday night. They run the SK Modified here on Thursday night, along with the late model stock entry, the street stock, and the super late model, which is what we have here tonight. This is the super late model here at the Martinsville Speedway. So we do run a weekly program here on Thursday night, and the schedule is predetermined. So next week we will actually run the street stock, and then we will head back to the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll pull out the SK Modified, then we head to Hickory with the super late model before we head to Lanier, where We'll get out the Legends car once again this season. Then we head up north here to the Thompson Speedway. We'll pull out the late model stock. We have the SK once again then for the Southern National. I'm reading that right. That's Southern National with the SK Modified, Oxford with the Legend, and the Street Stock at the Nashville Fairgrounds for the final race of the season on December the 15th. That's the remaining schedule. Well, let's first get this one in the books. Big crash. A.J. Hamill around. A.J. Hamill around as the caution flag will come right back out here. The 18 of A.J. Hamill, the 31 of Dave Bragg has gone around. Aiden Alvecchione. Dan Butler has gone around. Big trouble here. We're watch it back, and we'll have to see exactly what happened on the green flag. See if we zoom this one out a little bit. Oh, the outside goes, and then somebody spins the tire. And then from there, it's an accordion effect as you see the drivers get turned around. There you see the 31 of Dave Bragg. Went to spin it back around, and then him and A.J. Hamill almost make contact. Right on board with Dave Bragg. He was in the outside lane. When the green flag drops, everybody has to go, and fortunately, sometimes that's what happens. On board with A.J. Hamill, that's right where it starts. You saw everybody go, and Bob Higgins, you see him slam on the brakes. Dan Butler also slamming on the brakes. And I believe there's one car coming back there. That was A.J. Watkins. He was able to get slowed down in time. Bob Higgins got into the back end of the number 31 of Dave Bragg, and then he pretty much all but hit the hooks and threw the parachute or the anchor out the back. One thing that did happen on the restart there was Rex Hoyle was able to get the top spot. And when he got the top spot, Brandon Feeney said, okay, I'll come to pit road. So the 38 of Brandon Feeney and the Tim Hortons Dodge did elect to come to pit road. So he'll start at the back of the field. We're waiting to see where the scoring is going to add a lot of these cars, because you see a couple of them out in front of the race leader. There is the 271 of Aiden Alvecchione. There's the 18 of A.J. Hamill. Looking where Dan Butler is. He should have been lining up right there, but it looks like he's back down on pit road. So that's kind of throwing the scoring off here for just a couple of seconds. We're gonna straighten back out, and we'll see how these drivers will line up to run the last 25 laps of this event, because that's what we're closing in on here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car. You see a couple drivers getting wave around real quick. They were in front of the race leader, so they will tag the back of the field. Out front, then, it will be the 05 of Rex Hoyle. It'll be the 86 of James Skelton. Joshua Buckley, Dalton Williamson will be your front two rows. iRacing.com safety car off the racing surface, so we'll come back into the restart zone here. It'll be 24 official laps left here tonight at Martinsville. James Skelton will lead down the back straightaway. He is the race leader here over Rex Hoyle. One driver sideways on the curb. That's the 5 machine. Brian Bianchi was on the curbing. In 3 and 4, everybody skedaddles, and that'll make Brandon Wind very happy because he's back into the top 6 now. So Wind getting the good end of the oh, caution lights are on. Dan Butler, who's running right around the 13th position. Caution flag out for the 3rd time. Well, they were 3 wide. A.J. Hamill down on the bottom side. Oh, A.J. gonna get turned around there. I didn't see if the... we're gonna have to watch it back. Oh, the 21 of Butler down into the 18 of A.J. Hamill. Around he goes. Look at Aiden, had to slam on the brakes to avoid that one. On board with AJ there as he got spun around. So, a couple cars involved in that one. AJ Hamilton, Butler the main two. Brandon Feeney getting a small piece of that one. So working our third caution flag here tonight in the BK Paints 100 from the Martinsville Speedway. See if we get the 1 to go marker this time by at the line. We should see the lights on the safety car go out. As they don't go out, we're going to pay a couple bills. We'll be back here to Martinsville right after this.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money.
And look at that, back here on iRacing, we're back racing here at the Martinsville Speedway. James Skelton, Rex Hoyle doing the jig on the front row. As James Skelton will boot, scoot, and boogie to the race lead, he'll leave Dalton Williamson and Rex Hoyle battling side by side. Williamson trying to get underneath the 05. He'll do that. He'll make the pass. So with 16 laps to go, your front cars are James Skelton, Dalton Williamson, and Rex Hoyle sitting there in third. Joshua Buckley, Scott Duncan. Duncan losing a couple spots on that restart. He'll fall now back to the 5th position as Joshua Buckley got around him. So you see the Joshua Buckley, number 13 MA, the Ravens graphic, doing that one up for him. That's Doyle Lowrance. Lowrance normally joining us here on Thursday night, but it's his birthday tonight, so he's not here. One car into the outside wall. That was Scott Duncan. He got stuck onto the outside wall. Wind is going to take that spot. Now Brian Bianchi will be the driver that is side by side as Bianchi not able to do anything with it. Duncan! Oh boy! That one's going to hurt as Scott Duncan into the outside retaining wall. And Duncan actually on his lid, so that'll be the 4th caution flag of the evening flying. Let's take a look at it. See Scott Duncan to the outside there. He'll come down in front of the 5. Bianchi tried to fill the hole, and unfortunately, and then Duncan up over will wind up on his lid. don't know if Duncan lifted just a little bit early and Bianchi tried to drive it off there as he was trying to get that spot. We'll watch it here from a different angle. Brandon Wynn just sitting there saying, boys, please let me alone. I'm just trying to come through the field at this point. So that's what brings out that caution flag. Yeah, turn turtle, that's for sure. You don't want to be the turtle. That normally doesn't wind up well for you. Taking a peek, and it looks like A.J. Watkins was our lucky dog. So there you see the 0-1 of A.J. Watkins. He'll restart back into P number 11 after being a lap down. We're going to have ourselves a fashionable little shootout here at the end of this one. I'm looking at it, and we should have about 8 laps remaining of green flag racing, unless the officials here tonight turn those pesky pace car lights out here at Martinsville. Should get the one to go next time, as yep, we'll get it next time. So we're 2 to green right now here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway tonight for the BK Paints 100. If you're interested in getting yourself a custom iRacing wrap, look no further. BK Paints has you covered. Find them on Facebook.com at BK Paints today. So it'll be James Skelton, Dalton Williamson, Rex Hoyle, Joshua Buckley, Brandon Wynn, Brian Bianchi, Michael Treworthen, Rob Higgins, Brandon Feeney, Dave Bragg back on the lead lap, and then A.J. Watkins rounding down the lead lap cars. Bob Higgins, Dan Butler, Aiden Novecchio, Darrell Clauder, Duncan, Hamill, and Murphy rounding down the 18 cars, as you do see the iRacing.com official pace car lights going out. Which means we're going to go racing this time by. It will be 8 laps remaining here at the Martinsville Speedway to figure out who's going to win tonight here on BK Paints night. Here we go. Lights are off. Cars off. We're ready to roll. This time by, 8 to go. Green flag in the hand here. Our flagman, Barney the flagman. We're here with iRacing. Green flag up. Everybody getting a little sideways. Dalton Williamson really trying for the race lead. Trying to drive it off as far as he can. Trying to hold the 86 of Skelton down to the inside. Not going to happen as the one slides up. Skelton takes back the point here. Joshua Buckley into the 3rd spot of the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes, number 13 MA. He's there to pounce if the race leaders make a mistake. He is there to capitalize tonight. 6 to go. 6 to go in Martinsville. Still anybody's ball game. You never know what's going to happen. Joshua Buckley battling with the BK Paints number 1. The Rev Esports driver. Well, Joshua Buckley joining the Rev Esports team. And here tonight you can see that alliance, that seat time starting to pay off for him. He's sitting there. One driver sideways. Rex Hoyle. Oh, Hoyle into the tires here tonight. Hoyle into the tires as we stay green. They're going to see if he can refire. He will. So Rex Hoyle going to go from inside the top 5. Way down the pecking order here tonight to the 11th position. 4 laps to go here at the Martinsville Speedway. 4 to go. See how hard everybody is pushing it here tonight. Three to go. Dave Bragg and Brandon Feeney. Gee, the Canadians will not let each other go here tonight. You think there's maybe a hockey game going on out there for those two. Skelton this time, we'll see the old wind 'em up popsicle sticks, put 2 of them in the air. 2 more times, 1 more mile of racing here for the number 86 of James Skelton. When they come by this time, they will find it will be the white flag. The final trip around the speedway brought to us by Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe. It's the final lap. Williamson closing that time in turns 1 and 2, but will it be enough here in 3 and 4? One final swipe at him. Not going to be enough. It will be the 86 of James Skelton picking up the win here tonight. So it'll be Skelton across the line. Then it'll be Williamson, Buckley, Bianchi, Higgins. Then it will be Feeney and Bragg. Look at Dave Bragg and Brandon Feeney coming back here tonight. They will wind up finishing 6th and 7th unofficially. A.J. Watkins coming from 2 laps down here tonight. He'll finish 8th. Brandon Winden 9th. And Rex Hoyle will finish a disappointing 10th place finish. 11th will go to Michael Schwarthen, Bob Higgins, Dan Butler, Aiden Avicchione, Darrell Clauter, Scott Duncan, A.J. Hamill, and Dan Murphy Jr. That's your unofficial results here tonight in the BK Paints 100. As your race winner, going to burn them down here for Martinsville. And Tail Tank slapped the wall. So, we're taking a quick break here from the Martinsville Speedway as we're getting ready for your Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show to talk to your top 3 finishers here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Martinsville Speedway, your Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show coming up right about now as we start to kick things off here at Martinsville for our ender. Well, it was a heck of a race. 64 laps before we saw our first caution flag fly, and then we saw a couple of them come out here before the end of this one that really played its hands into how this race finished. Let's not waste any more time. Let's head down to the racetrack here. Let's talk to the top 3 finishers. Let's start things off with the driver who finishes in P number 3. And how about it, Mr. Buckley? A brand new paint scheme here in this car, a brand new team, and all of a sudden, this 13 machine has started to come to the front. How did you wind up as far front here tonight at Martinsville?
A little bit of luck, a little bit of strategy. Just tried to play the cards right. Thought the 2-tire stop there when we all pitted was going to be the call, and it worked out.
It works out for you here. A little chaos in the beginning of this one. A couple cars getting it together in front of you. How hard was it tonight here at Martinsville with these super late models?
I mean, the super late model, it's definitely, I'm not going to say it's a handful, but you got to, pick and choose your points and trying to be aggressive and not aggressive. When those cars were up there getting squirrely in front of me, I was just trying to hopefully see it happen in front of me and get away from it like I did. So luck was on my side tonight, and I'll take it.
Luck was on your side, and then you found yourself battling inside the top 5 at the end of this one. On that final restart, I believe you started back there 4th or 5th position. You got to 3rd. What more did you need, though, to go take down car number 1 and that 86?
Probably 4 tires instead of 2. It seems like they can get a better launch on exit, but still definitely I'll take 3rd place.
3rd place, a great run for you here tonight with that beautiful looking paint scheme here. Who do you got to thank, though, tonight for another great run and your first podium finish of the season?
Gonna thank Doyle for the paint scheme. He does some awesome work on that, and I'm gonna try to go down this list, but hopefully I don't forget anybody. Teammates Dalton and Mike for all the work we do. Checkered Flag Auto Supply, Granny Hips, Buckley, Walkers and Canes, the Racing School. Obviously, like I said, guys at Rev Esports, BK Paints, McConey Setup Shop, and Platinum RV Services.
There you hear it. He's had the whole rap sheet laid out in front of him. Tonight, though, he'll finish on the podium for the first time this season. The number 13, Joshua Buckley, finishing P number 3. One spot up ahead of him, driving the Rev Esports number 1, the BK Paints entry. Dalton, a great run for you here tonight. You qualified 2nd. You got the jump. You led the first 3 laps. And then after that, you had to funnel back in line and follow that 86.
Yeah, there's not too many times I say this in a super, but I'm sure the broadcast was mighty entertained. I mean, there's not too many races that I do in a super late model where the front 2 are separated from a 10th for 100 laps. So that was definitely a hell of a run tonight.
We saw a lot of guys behind you using the old chrome horn, if you will, to get around some drivers here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Did that ever cross your mind in the closing laps here as you started to bear back down on that 86?
I tried on the white flag going in 3 and 4 and drove it in there a little too hot and locked the left front up. So kind of went out the window. Wasn't going to try to turn Skelton.
Well, when you look at it, James Skelton may have got you here tonight, but in the point standings, that won't hurt you because every other driver that you were battling in the points championship will actually finish behind you. AJ Hamill having some problems here tonight. Scott Dunking having some late problems here tonight. Dave Bragg having a good run, but out of all this, all the drivers in the championship standings, you're going to come out here and you're going to extend that race lead. And we are on the downward slide here of the rest of this season. We head to a track, though, that we've never been to with the track or car. We will head to the LA Coliseum next week for the Big Wiggle 100. How do you feel about that one?
I don't know, Roger, to tell you the truth. I think that's just going to be kind of what Josh is saying in his interview, strategy and luck of the draw and missing the big one.
Well, it's the smallest track we will visit all year long. I can tell you I'm going to bring my popcorn, Dalton. I hope you bring yours. And with that being said, I know the Rev Esports group likes to go out and practice a ton. So we're handing you the microphone here because this is your time to shine because there's some people on this car that made tonight all possible.
First and foremost, I want to congratulate Skelton on his win, man. That was a hell of a run tonight on his part. It was a lot of fun. As far as sponsors, BK Paints, Rev Esports, McConey Setup Shop, Nitro Racing, Platinum RV Services, and the family for watching tonight, and you guys for broadcasting. You guys do a hell of a job, and see y'all next week.
There you heard it from your second place driver, and I'm not quite sure here what's happening with our first place interview. Let's see if we can grab somebody here to talk to. Let's see if we got James Skelton out there. James, do you finally hear us here tonight? James still learning how to operate this Discord thing, so let's see. Let's dial him up here one more time. James, you got a copy with us here? Well, doesn't sound like we do. I thought possibly we had him, but unfortunately we don't. James Skelton, though, will take the top spot here tonight in qualifying. He was one of the fastest cars in our practice session earlier on. Tonight he will also lead the most laps here in the BK Paints 100 here from the Martinsville Speedway. So James Skelton picking up his first ever pole on Thursday night, along with picking up his first ever win with the Short Track Scrambler Series here on Thursday night. So congratulations to James Skelton. We'll catch up with him during the week, and we'll see if we can get a word before for next weekend's race for the driver out of South Carolina. So congratulations to James Skelton and the Flowertown Animal Hospital number 86 here tonight for picking up that win. So, with that being said, the Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show finishing up here. Each one of the drivers that finished on the podium here tonight picking up a Holy Shirt and a Holy Pants. So far, the leader in the Holy Shirts and Pants category is Dalton Williamson. He has, well, more than I can count, and there's more holes in that shirt and pants than anybody could imagine. So, with Martinsville Speedway being in the books here tonight, presented by BK Paints, that leaves us to race number 9 next week on October the 20th, and it'll be the Big Wiggle 100 from the LA Coliseum. You heard me talk about it. We've never been to the LA Coliseum because that is brand new to the iRacing server. It just came out in the last couple of months. And, well, the street stock may not be new, but the track and car combination are, and I can tell you, I've raced there once, and it's going to be an exciting one. That is going to be for sure. If you're going to circle any race on the calendar this season on Thursday night, it's got to be the Big Wiggle 100 from the LA Coliseum next week. So grab your soda pop, grab your adult beverages, and grab your popcorn, and make sure you have plenty of it, because next week is going to be one big wiggle, that's for sure. So, for everybody, though, here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, and everybody over at BK Paints, we hope you all enjoyed tonight's show here from the virtual Martinsville Speedway. My name is Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network, and until we catch you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.